G'day guys, Nate here coming at you with the round 24 preview of Collingwood's clash against Brisbane. Friday night, MCG, 7:40 p.m. start. Not exactly a dead rubber per se. Collingwood in 8th spot. Going to have to somehow smack Brisbane Carlton style a few weeks ago to somehow get close to Adelaide and Geelong on percentage. And then we need somehow Richmond to beat Geelong at Cardinia Park and then somehow GWS in their dead rubber to beat Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval. So forget about it. We are playing wildcard round next week. And the talking point for us internally is managing players for this game against Brisbane, having senior players, experienced players, anyone who's banged up cherry ripe for next week. I'm going to state my stance on this a little bit later. Brisbane in third spot, a massive opportunity for them to cement top four, and for their sake, third spot to take on a depleted Sydney side, given the announcement today as of this recording. But just a few housekeeping. Firstly, the Collingwood games this week, Friday night, MCG, Collingwood v Brisbane. Saturday morning, Collingwood's VFLW side taking on North Melbourne at Arden Street. North Melbourne in second spot, Collingwood in third spot, or it's vice versa. Basically, it's a battle for top two, and Collingwood, if they win, they're not guaranteed top two because they've got to take on Williamstown next week, who are on top of the VFLW ladder. So the next fortnight for Collingwood's VFLW side, a massive test to see if Collingwood is not deserving or worthy, but are they a premiership threat? And then we've got on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, Collingwood's AFLW side round two action taking on Fremantle, 12:35 p.m. start at Victoria Park. So all of a sudden, no issues with Victoria Park. There's games played at Victoria Park. Disappointing the Collingwood VFL side not playing at Victoria Park too many times this year, but Collingwood's AFLW side gets to play at Victoria Park, and it's going to be in pristine conditions, as much as we can say that. But three Collingwood games, three games that we're going to likely be underdogs in. So my expectations will be just one win. I know 1 out of 3 isn't good majority wise, but if we get one win from this weekend, I'll be pleased. 1.5 win or a draw. If we get a draw at least, then it's a win, I reckon. Underdogs against Brisbane. I'm going to say underdogs in the VFLW as well, even though it's 50-50. North Melbourne, their women's program is just dominant. And then Collingwood v Fremantle. Collingwood not expected to do much in the AFLW. Freo AFLW side always up there. So massive weekend for Collingwood games. VFL season officially over, but it's a good little segue into the selection speculation early on for this sort of game against Brisbane. Now, 9 players for Collingwood with 50 games or less of AFL experience. I don't want to increase that too much. We're going to have Sidebottom and Jeremy Howe expected to come back in. Maynard needs at least one more week. And then there's Lipinski, one more week. Isaac Waynor confirmed out with a glute injury. He wasn't 100% against Hawthorn after quarter time. So at least 1 week there. And Perryman a couple of weeks away with the hamstring injury. I'll talk about the injury list a bit later. But regarding selection speculation, I am against managing players and bringing in youngsters for this sort of game. Yes, we need to be in pristine cherry ripe conditioning for next week against either the Western Bulldogs or Carlton. We're going to find out our wildcard round opponent by, I'm going to say, 4 p.m. on Saturday. Carlton takes on Fremantle. Dogs taking on Melbourne. Dogs v Melbourne is a twilight game, MCG. Carlton v Fremantle, that's an early Saturday afternoon game. But I will talk about other games as well because of the machinations and ramifications for top 6, top 4, top 8, wildcard, whatever. Just whatever's involved. But I do not want to be managing players, particularly when we've got Sidebottom and Jeremy Howe coming back in. That's at least 2 changes there. I don't think Jeremy Howe and Isaac Quaynor is a like for like, but it might be Jeremy Howe in for Noah Howes. Noah Howes holding his own as a defender in the AFL side. I'd expect him to be playing on for us next year. And then maybe another selection change down back. Maynard not coming in for Quaynor, but it'll be interesting with the magnets being moved. And I did say on a few live streams or fan cams on Saturday about maybe Angus Anderson being dropped for this sort of game, just tapering off end of the season sort of stuff. But the youngsters bringing it around to just our current form and our youngsters playing well last week against Hawthorn. Expectations, not just for selection speculation, but also for performance. Do not expect our youngsters to not just back it up, but to improve on that. Just tremendous stuff against Hawthorn. Nick Dacos stepping up in the final quarter, youngsters getting on his back, and then just playing solid games. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a Harrison Coe or a Jessic Centre debuting, but There's wildcard to be played next week. There's a season to be played out. If their form and their performances suggest they deserve to be called up to the best 23, then yeah, make that consideration. But we need to focus on the wildcard round as well, and also ramifications for the top eight. Uh, Brisbane in third spot. Their percentage is ahead of Hawthorn and Melbourne. They win this game and by a decent margin. It should be a comfortable buffer to hold on to third spot. But that for me is a motivating factor into taking this game seriously and causing a bit of an upset, throwing a spanner in the works for the top three, top four, or top four, top six wildcard. There is a possibility we can cause an upset win over Brisbane and have them sink from third down to seventh, all the way down to wildcard spot. Their top four spot is not guaranteed yet. They are favourites to win this game. They win this game, and by a decent margin, they can confirm third spot. A simple win keeps them in the top four. Hawthorn could get them on percentage with a decent win over West Coast over in Perth. So there's that. And then there's Adelaide taking on GWS, Geelong taking on Richmond. They're going to be banking on results to go their way, i.e., us against Brisbane. West Coast, I don't think will beat Hawthorn, and maybe the Bulldogs can beat Melbourne to drag Melbourne down to wildcard spot. But it's a lot to be played out in terms of the top 10, top 8, top 6, top 4, all these positions. Freo and Sydney, they're the only two locks on the AFL ladder for their positions. Freo hosting a qualifying final, Sydney hosting a qualifying final. In terms of this game against Brisbane, I didn't watch their win over Gold Coast for the Q Clash, but they've won 2 games in a row. They bounced back from their 76-point loss against Carlton. They destroyed Hawthorn at the Gabba 2 weeks ago, and they took care of Gold Coast pretty comfortably. They're little bros. You could say, yet again, Brisbane's back. They get themselves cherry ripe at this point of the year. They peak at the right time, and they're doing it yet again. And we've got to be able to nullify Brisbane's impact and their form and momentum. There's also the last time we played Brisbane, where we got smacked by 54 points. There was blood everywhere. Uh, a mulligan for our standards, and Brisbane took care of business against us last time. Not to mention as well, they've won the last 3 games against us, so I don't want to lose a fourth time in a row to Brisbane. So there's that motivating factor. But just getting to our injury list, side bottom, Jeremy Howe expected to play. I'm not going to update the injury list in terms of them being assessed or being a test. Maynard, most likely not playing against Brisbane. They'll be confirmed Thursday night. Team selections, final word will be uploaded Thursday night. Friday night will be the post-game reaction, the YouTube short, and then Saturday morning or afternoon will be the round 24 review. Quaynor, 1 week. Lipinski, 1 week away. Perryman on hold, still 2 to 3 weeks away. Now, this is the sort of injury and sort of update where you need to be a little bit concerned because I said it with the Lockie Schultz foot injury. If it gets dragged out, don't expect him to return. For Perryman and his sake, he's someone that can return and make an impact straight away, but still 2 to 3 weeks away. If he's fit and available and we're still in the finals mix or the premiership race, I expect Perryman to return. But if it's still going to be dragged out like this, then yeah, just might not be too positive there for Perryman, but that's a watch this space. And then, yeah, 5 players out for the season with their injuries. But this game here against Brisbane, I don't want to be managing too many players. Yes, I know we need to be, get through it unscathed and be fit and cherry ripe for the wildcard round. But it's also the sort of game where I'd be telling someone like a Lockie Schultz to just pump the brakes. Don't go too flat out. Don't want to ping a calf or a hamstring or anything like that. Nick Dacos, just control yourself, get through it unscathed, don't get suspended, you win the Brownlow medal, that sort of areas. And also as well, going back to our draw against Hawthorn, it was the youngsters who played well. Our senior players, yeah, their performances, yeah, they weren't that good. These senior players need to lift, and this game here against Brisbane, it's a chance for our senior players to step up and lead the way and hopefully cause an upset of any sorts. But Brisbane, they'll be taking this game a lot more seriously compared to us. Uh, they'd rather be playing their qualifying final against Sydney, their depleted side now, instead of going to Fremantle or going to Perth, because they've gone Fremantle for Optus Stadium qualifying final. But Brisbane, you know what to expect. They've played 3 grand finals in a row, 4 prelims in a row. They're on track to be top 4 and also make another prelim, maybe another grand final as well. And it's starting to get annoying. They're on track for a 3rd premiership as well. But just getting to the compare the pair, Collingwood 10th for points for, and they're 4th for points against. Brisbane, contrary, 2nd for points for, 10th for points against. Their backline's been leaky all year, but they've fixed it up in the last 2 weeks. So we're going to penetrate their backline. That sounds fucking weird saying that, but you get what I'm trying to say in terms of footy, all right? Relax, all right? Grow up. Collingwood 10th for points for, Brisbane for points against. I guess my sort of uh, mindset and the reason for this preview and the thumbnail and the title and whatever. Pressure fee control. The stats shown in this compare the pairs show it's going to be pressure fee control. We are one of the best, if not the best, pressure sides in the competition. Brisbane, when the control and their attacking game's on, it's the best in the business. It's better than Fremantle's. I will say that right now. So it's going to be interesting. Brisbane, their control and their attacking game can quell our pressure. Our pressure cannot quell their attacking game or control based off our last three losses against them. So this is something for us to improve on. We're second for overall tackles around the ground, first for tackles inside 50. We're also second for rebound 50s. It's a reason why I'm not too angry on Dan Houston. We're still a good defensive side for slingshot footy and rebound 50 with Josh Dacos, Sam Swadling last week. Frampton, Noah Howes, Jeremy Howe, if he comes back in, these sort of players, they can still control the back line. Our back line is solid. So I'm not going to be too angry on a Dan Houston, so I'll say that right now. But again, I might make a separate video on it later on. But just with Brisbane and their control and their attacking game, number one for marks, contested marks, efficiency inside 50, clearance work, second for centre and stoppage clearances, third for efficiency inside 50, third for inside 50 entries. When they get it inside 50, they score, they make you pay. So for us, if our back line is solid, if we can make them pay on turnovers, that's going to go a long way for us causing an upset. We're still down in a few key stats, i.e. clearance work and just bottom four, bottom six areas, but it's improved post-buy, and maybe I should make a post-buy sort of compare the pair and just properly show the areas of improvement. But for Brisbane, though, and this is a few stats where we can exploit them in, 18th for tackles, 13th for intercepts, 14th for disposal efficiency, 10th for shot at goal accuracy. So making them pay on turnover. Slingshot footy, if that can come back in the vogue for Collingwood, it's gone away a bit, tapered off in the last two games. I think for our sake, it's just a matter of getting through these games and winning games. Not the best 23, we know, but hopefully we can turn it around for the slingshot footy, making teams pay on turnovers. And more importantly, going back to our peak last year, seeing Brisbane's, I guess, skills and attributes, uh, taking them on in their skills and attributes and showing them that, hey, we can beat you at your own game. So hopefully that sort of clicks in the gear, but it's a long shot against Brisbane. They're going to be the favourites for this sort of game. And just with the recent history, we do trail this overall head to head 19 wins, 26 losses. No draws. I said this for Hawthorn earlier this year. I didn't really specify it, but foreshadowing, just in case we have another draw. And my goodness, I wouldn't mind another draw. Back-to-back draws. I wouldn't mind it. But we do trail the overall head-to-head at the MCG. 7 wins, 9 losses. Brisbane have beaten us the last 2 times at the MCG. And 9 wins, 12 losses in Victoria. That loss at Victoria Park, 1999. Sorry to bring that up. But also at Marvel Stadium. We lost there a few times to Brisbane. Just a few player stats. I'm not going to mention the still side bottom random stat, but for Nick Dacos, if he's playing this game, he needs 29 disposals or more to end the home and away season, averaging 35 plus disposals a game and also 1 goal a game. He's kicked his 23 goals, so he's averaging over a goal a game, just 1.1, whatever. But he needs 29 disposals to get 35 plus disposals for the year. Unless we manage him, then he's already hit that target. 35.3 disposals a game, 1 goal a game. Just what an unbelievable player Nick Dacos is. Sorry for the glaze there, but had to be said. And just bring up a fun fact in terms of AFL experience for both sides. From last week's game, Collingwood had 9 players with 50 games or less AFL experience. Brisbane, with just 2 players with 50 games or less. And one of those players is about to play game 50, Levi Ashcroft. So again, it's another reason why we shouldn't be playing too many kids. We've got 9 kids already. Ned Long, Billy Frampton, under 100 games of experience. That's 11 players. Half our list of our best 23, pretty much. 100 games or less. And I don't want to be chucking in too many less experienced players and resting senior players. If anything, the senior players need to step up from last week. So that's what I'm looking for. And the last time we played Brisbane, again, 54-point loss, 10-5, 65 to Brisbane, 17-17, 119. At the Gabatoir, Nick Dacos was laid out and Brisbane mauled us, pun intended, right there. Blood everywhere. Brisbane armed to the teeth in the midfield. We got smacked in the midfield. It led to my 30-minute video analysing our midfield and centre clearances work and everything involved. Uh, yeah, the main key to victory for us is to improve the midfield compared to last time. But I'm not going to make it too much of a vocal point for the keys of victory. My 4 keys to victory, yet again, the first key to victory is for Collingwood's forward line must be less leaky compared to Brisbane's back line. What does that mean? Uh, Again, Collingwood 10th for points for, Brisbane 10th for points against. Who's going to blink? Brisbane's back line or our forward line? Our forward line, our goal efficiency needs to improve from last week. If it does, Brisbane could be in a bit of strife. Brisbane's back line, been solid last 2 games. Can it hold up for a third game in a row? Are they hitting the right form? That's a massive talking point there. Brisbane's back line versus Collingwood's forward line. The second key to victory, mentioning this for the compare the pair, is slingshot footy. It's all about making Brisbane pay with their turnovers and their attacking game. If they miss a shot at goal, can we make them pay on turnovers there? Slingshot footy, rebound 50s as well, entries inside 50 for Brisbane. If it's an intercept to Collingwood, make them pay on turnovers. We can't play the slow, methodical, bomb it down a line sort of game. Attack the corridor. Again, slingshot footy, attack the corridor, actually spook Brisbane for this sort of game. If we can spook them, then yeah, they'll feel the pressure, the heat, and all of a sudden their top 4 hopes can be going down the drain. That's what I want to look for here. The third key to victory, at least take it to Brisbane's midfield. Be respectable. I don't expect us to beat Brisbane outright in the midfield. Lockie Neal, Josh Dunkley, McCluggage, the Ashcroft brothers, Sam Draper in the ruck, Zach Bailey can go into the midfield, Grainer can go into the midfield. They've got midfield depth. They're one of the best midfield groups, if not the best midfield group in the competition. It's been the case for the last 3 to 5 years. I don't expect us to beat them at their own game for their midfield attacking game, but you just never know. Nick Dacos is in there. Ned Long can apply pressure. Hopefully, Jordan Nagoe right for this sort of game. Pendlebury with his experience, if he's playing. McCreary, I don't expect him to play like he did against Hawthorn last week, against Brisbane here, sorry. It was a good game overall for Bo McCreary, particularly at the final quarter, but I don't expect him to extrapolate that for this Brisbane game. So, yeah, my expectations for the midfield, I expect Brisbane to beat us in the midfield. 450 stoppages last year, prelim final, third quarter. That's how they jumped us after half time. 450 stoppages, clearance work, stoppages overall, centre ball ups as well. Last time we played them, everything in the midfield needs to improve, and it starts here against Brisbane. And the final key to victory is more so for Brisbane. Do you fear the wildcard rounds? Are you cemented for top 4? No, you're not. And if they lose this game, they're going to be holding out for the next 48 hours for results to go their way. Adelaide against GWS, Geelong against Richmond, Melbourne against the Bulldogs, and Hawthorn against West Coast. 4th to 7th, their opponents, they're expected to win. So it's going to be interesting. But I'd like nothing more to throw a spanner in the works and cause an upset over Brisbane. We knocked them out of the top 4 in 2024. They went on to win the premiership though. But if we can beat them similar to like we did against them in 2024, knock them from 3rd to 7th off a 1-point win, for example, will it actually impact Brisbane's premiership chances? It actually would, from 3rd to 7th to play wildcard round. And how fitting. Full circle moment. Brisbane hosting in 7th spot against Carlton in 10th spot. Yeah, full circle moment for Carlton, and for Brisbane, they'd be a bit shaky against Carlton as well. So there's that sort of aspect, but expectations, I'm expecting Brisbane to win this sort of game, and then we'll confirm 8th or 9th spot. Carlton against Freo, Dogs against Melbourne. That's all to watch this space, but we got Brisbane Friday night. We'll look forward to it. I'll be at the game. Yeah, that's all for this video. I'll leave you guys all to it. I hope you guys are having a good week so far. Please be well, please be safe, and I'll see you guys Thursday night for the team selections final word video. Up the Pies.